All right. Welcome, folks. Today we are tinkering with like agentic coding, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do Claude Code-ish stuff without using Claude Code. Um, yeah, so we're trying it. Claude is really good at what it does, so we may end up just back with Claude. But there's a couple projects that I think are really interesting that I want to take a look at. The first is OpenCode. This is like pretty much one-to-one Claude. You can even use Claude within it, um, but you could bring your own model. So we're going to take a look at that. There's some really cool stuff going on here, including Zen, which just makes it super easy to set up. You get a certain number of free tokens. A lot of providers actually end up giving you free, uh, what should we call it, tokens to use. So like in this case, we are actually using Big Pickle. They're like testing it out, so they're offering it for free. There's probably a limit. I haven't found it yet. We're going to be messing with a sort by choosing project. I'll show you, I guess, what that looks like in a different tab here. I guess we have it running. I totally forget how to run this thing. Apparently, we don't have a package JSON. Oh, it's in the app. I think maybe it's just yarn start. Yeah. Okay. So this was like an old app I used to have that lets you like choose things and it'll tell you what you prefer. Obviously, there's like way too many choices in this one, but it gives you like your top scores and all scores. Basically, does either or like decision matrixing, right? Um, and it's hard coded right now, so like these are the only options you're ever going to get, and it's really like a weird format and stuff. It's really annoying. So what I want to do is try to have OpenCode add the ability to drop in basically CSV of uh, options. So I guess what I'm going to say here is let's start this and we'll start looking at Letta, which is the other thing I'm into while this is happening. So I'm just going to say um, build the ability to add a comma separated list of choices in the UI instead of hard coding them. And I don't know, let's see what it does. Oh yeah, there's so many cool things. So I have not figured out how to do this because my terminal's weird, but you can like view subagents. You can see what it's doing. So this is kind of what Claude does. Uh, doesn't really call it subagents, so it's kind of weird. Although maybe there's a bunch of subagents. Don't think there are. Oh, I guess this is just forward and back. But yeah, so it's basically like figuring out how my app works, which is good. So this is what it looks like. And this is using Big Pickle. I might come back and try to show you guys what this looks like with a local model. It's probably going to be a lot worse, partly because I think I only have I think a 16 gigs RAM on here. Uh, I do not have enough to do it. So, all right, what's it doing? So it's doing stuff. We'll come back in a little bit and see how it's going. But like, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is free, and this is probably, I hope, somewhere in the range of Claude Code. We'll see how this actually works. Um, don't love that it's doing a bunch of styling. I guess I had styling before. That's surprising. I don't like to do styling. Uh, that's a smart way to do it. Interesting. So it's doing stuff. That's OpenCode. Pretty straightforward if you know what Claude Code is. Letta Code is like another level. Basically, Letta Code is cloud, which I don't love, but it's persistent memory across sessions. So the trouble with OpenCode and Claude Code is you have to like manually put stuff into a Claude MD file or something as you remember it, and you can like automate it a little bit. And some people have like git commit hooks so that it compresses context back into the Claude MD file. I don't really want to deal with that. I freaking love what I've done so far with 15 minutes in Letta, which is like I went to that same project and I was like, hey, uh, save a memory of like how this project works. So I was like, it's now any session I interact with it has this memo agent that it can reference with this information, which is freaking awesome. And you can actually see it's really auditable, which I love. And you can even, so this is the stuff that these are the configs on the agent, which I love. Like you can get really into this, or you can get not into it at all. And there's just so much you can do. And I think it's built on some form of open source, open memory. You should look into it. It's super fun. But you can then build custom agents. So they have an AE, love the name, that you can do a bunch of really interesting stuff with. I have not done anything with building an agent. I'm just kind of using it at the simplest, dumbest level. And so we'll get to it and we'll see what it does here. So let's do a quick check and see what this did. So apparently this makes sense. So it's basically generalizing this hopefully a little bit. It's deleted my random problems that I don't need, and it came up with a clear name. So I'm pretty I want hot reloads, so let's just use yarn dev instead of yarn start. And let's do the classic. Love the styling. Hate to say it. This is great. And let's see how this does. So I don't think that did what I wanted to, but it looks good. And I didn't have to do any work. So we should see basically an enumeration of all the possible combinations. So thing one versus thing three. Yep. Should see thing one versus thing two. Yeah. Actually, that did it. Although this is not right. So let's see if we can have Letta go fix that. So I'm gonna come over here and I am going to say, let's see, I don't want plan mode. I don't want a new conversation. I think it's a little bit more complicated than I thought. What is YOLO, Ralph? Maybe I could just say what I want it to do. So hey, I was working with OpenCode and it attempted to update my app so that it could accept a CSV of choices instead of hard coding it. In doing so, it broke the final screen, which displays all results. It only displays the top two. Fix 8. I don't know. We'll see how this works. This one also, I'm curious to see if I run into rate limiting at some point. Ooh. Also, this stuff is so good. This is like what a developer should do. Um, I wish early in my career I coded like this. Uh, then it maps. Yeah, let's see if it figured it out. But all in that, it's pretty cool. And what I love is like I feel like Letta is compounding. Like every time I make an improvement, it's gonna stay and it's only gonna get better. Whereas like OpenCode and some of these other ones, I really have to um, very intensively like make changes to improve it over time. Both of these, what I love is you're like not tied to a provider. These seem to be like really, really wow. So maybe I did it wrong, or maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Inspect the page. It's interesting to see what might be happening here. Oh man, I really hate next. I made a bad choice here in doing this. Top and bottom score, all. I mean, it's definitely missing thing 3, but I'm surprised that it's missing thing 3. And maybe I'll dig into why that's happening. Oh, apparently I had broken this originally, which is potentially my problem. Uh, this is kind of funny to see it doing it. The update score function only adds the winning choices to score. Yeah. All right, we'll see what it does. Oh, it already made changes. We can see it in there. Uh, all right, let's see now. So I've chosen thing 1 once. I'm choosing thing 2 a second time. That one is wrong. So it fixed one thing. It looks like it broke another, and the sorting's backwards. But I think it's really promising because it is like OpenCode, but it improves. I wish it were open source, and I think there's a way to try to run all this locally, but it's much more complicated than I'm able to do right now. So if anyone knows of a great way to like imitate Letta code locally, like I am all ears. I'm going to now try to show you what OpenCode would do with a local model. I totally forget how to do that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to actually look at root code. So this is like a different approach, probably more like cursor. But again, it's like giving you more control over the agents itself. So let's go ahead and open Visual, I think it's VCO. Maybe it's just code. I don't have it installed on the CLI anymore because I've been using my other stuff. Okay. Yep, I trust the author. It is me. So let's actually take let's just say I am building an app that enumerates choices from a CSV. Currently, it does not enumerate all choices. Fix it. So this one, like I don't like the UI as much as building in the terminal. And obviously I'm a developer, so like there's a little bit of a bias there. Oh, this one's supposed to be using Elm Studio. Uh, well, you're gonna see it, I guess, just not in the way I thought. Uh, we are running Granite. It looks like the local server has changed. So we need to fix this somehow. Providers. Like I am trying to use Granite Tiny. There are lots of changes. Let's go back over here and maybe retry. Maybe it just hadn't started yet. Okay, let's look at Elm Studio real quick and see. It doesn't even look like it's attempting it. Well, I'm gonna give up for the night. But that is a pretty short and pretty incomplete setup of how these models are working. But yeah, so that was OpenCode, which is basically one-to-one with Claude. Letta, which adds memory, but is not local, which sucks. And then root code, which is a VS Code like Copilot alternative that I did not get working in this time. So sorry, root team. I'm sure your app is great, but I goofed up my own studio configuration.